everyone. I, Dr. Shweta Sharma, currently working as an assistant professor in Department of Physiotherapy at Manav Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies, Faridabad. Firstly, I would like to thank Dr. R.K. Mudgil for providing me this opportunity to share my views on craniosacral therapy in rehabilitation. Craniosacral therapy or CST. Basically, it is a therapeutic technique which was developed by John E. Upledger that mobilize the bones of the head and spine, and it releases tension deep in the body to improve whole body health. And it helps to re-establish the proper flow of cerebrospinal fluid throughout the dural tube. CSF or cerebrospinal fluid. Basically, it fills the dural tube, cushions our brain and spinal column like a shock absorber. It brings nourishment to our nerves and transports waste material to be recycled. When a restriction or blockage occurs in the dural tube, flow of nourishment is impaired and it can affect the optimal performance of nerves and organs they innervate. So craniosacral therapy basically resolve restrictions and provide optimal flow of nourishment throughout the dural tube. It is just like watering the garden. When you don't water an area in a garden, plants struggle as compared to the rest of the area of the garden. So craniosacral therapy is used to identify the location of a particular disturbance, and then we resolve these impairments so that our whole body garden can get the water and optimal health is promoted. Now, if we talk about the sessions, number of sessions in craniosacral therapy, it basically depends on the problem a person is facing and yes, age of the patient. So basically, if we talk about the sessions, so more or less 10 sessions are recommended in CST. CST, it is a 10-step protocol. It consists of various techniques like still point, diaphragm release, sacral techniques, dural tube rock and glide, frontal lift, parietal lift, sphenoid compression or decompression, temporal release, TMJ compression or decompression, and still point induction. So these are the techniques which we cover under craniosacral therapy techniques. Now I'll talk regarding clinical applications of craniosacral therapy. That means which particular technique of craniosacral therapy we are giving or we should give in which particular condition. Okay, so firstly I'll talk regarding frontal lift technique. Frontal lift technique, it releases the sutures of frontal bone and falx cerebri and falx cerebelli. And if we talk about the indication of this technique, frontal lift technique, then indications are headache or migraine, sinus problems, CP, frontal accidents, decreased smell or taste sensations. Now second technique is parietal lift. Parietal lift, it releases the temporal parietal suture and superior inferior aspect of falx cerebri and falx cerebelli. Now indications of this technique, it basically includes headache, migraine, mini strokes, general motor problems, general sensory problems, forceps delivery problems. All these are the indications basically which we cover under this technique. Now next technique is sphenoid compression or decompression. It helps in mobilizing horizontal membrane system. Indications of this technique are headaches, endocrine dysfunction, depression, macular degeneration, glaucoma, neck or back pain, scoliosis, autism or scissors. Now next technique is temporal ear pull. It releases lateral aspect of tentorium cerebelli. Indications of this technique includes headaches or migraine, learning difficulties, dyscalculia, or if a person finds any difficulty in doing calculations, hearing impairments, tinnitus, balance disorder, dizziness, ear infections, seizure disorders, TMJ problems, neuralgia, Bell's palsy, trigeminal nerve issues. Okay, so all these points covers under this technique. Now, next technique is TMJ compression or decompression. It helps in releasing the soft tissue aspects of TMJ that can affect extracranial aspects of posture or biomechanical imbalance and facial restrictions. Now, if we talk about still point induction, it helps in releasing accumulated stress, high blood pressure, peptic ulcers. So, all these are the clinical applications of these craniosacral therapy techniques. Now, in general, if we talk that CST is used to treat different disorders, right? So in general, craniosacral therapy can be used to treat attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, anxiety and panic attacks, autism, brain and spinal cord trauma, CNS disorders, chronic neck and back pain, dyslexia, facial pain, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, learning disabilities, migraines and headaches, motor coordination impairments, post-traumatic stress disorder, scoliosis, TMJ disorder. Now, if we talk about the contraindications of this technique, so contraindications include acute stroke, recent open cavity wounds, hemorrhage, epidural leaks, unhealed fracture to vertebrae, brainstem herniation. Okay, we have discussed about the general CST, about CST technique, its 10-step protocol, its indications, its contraindications. Now, I think we should discuss something about how craniosacral therapy works. What is the principle of craniosacral therapy? So, palpation technique is very important in craniosacral therapy. You should be well versed with your palpation techniques. The use of palpation is a key to craniosacral therapy. See, structures beneath the skin, their form, movement and relationship to each other, they are explored through palpation in this technique. CST possesses its own physiological activity with all the characteristics of semi-closed hydraulic system formed by the dura mater membrane and its contents. Membranes are given shape by fluid pressure in system and more rigid structures such as cranial bones and the spine. In craniosacral therapy, bones in the cranium and spine, they are used as a handle to release the restrictions in membrane system to allow the fluid to flow properly. So in craniosacral therapy technique, these bones like cranium, spine, they act as a handle. Basically, you release the restrictions with the help of these handles. Alright, so functionally, cranial system is related to central nervous system, autonomic nervous system, neuromusculoskeletal system and endocrine system. The system's fluid intake is via choroid plexus, which allows passage of fluid from vascular system into the ventricular system of the brain. So dural system is basically that is continuous down the spine to the coccyx. And you can say this fluid contributes an internal pressure to this semi-closed system. The bony developments in fetal and infant skull may be thought as a hard place in membrane, contributing to its shape and functional integrity. So as the maturation occurs, distance between these bony hard places are reduced. As newly delivered child develops character of the cartilage, membrane and bone which comprise cranial vault undergoes considerable modifications. As we all know, newborn child's skull is extremely flexible. So techniques for examination and treatment of newborn craniosacral system are quite different from those applied to adult. As person develops from newborn to adult, techniques of craniosacral system and treatment must be gradually modified. So we can say that yes, these techniques can be applied to both infants as well as adults, but the way of assessing and treatment options, they both are different. So the dural sleeves extend off what is known as dural tube. So attached to these sleeves is connective tissue that then runs throughout the body with many attachments to bone, muscles, viscera, including the cranium, brain, coccyx, dural sleeves, etc. This allows the therapist to assess the cranial system from any area of the body. So now we will talk about how craniosacral therapy works for infants and children. That we have discussed in general, but now we'll discuss that how craniosacral therapy technique it works for infants and children. CST or craniosacral therapy works to aid in prevention of numerous disorders like developmental, sensory, learning, structural or emotional problems or disorders. So under normal conditions, skull of fetus is truly a membranous sac filled with CSF. Now if we talk year-wise in infants and children, if we talk about 0 to 2 years, then the number of issues which a CST or craniosacral therapy can address in this particular age group, like colic problems, breastfeeding problems, birth trauma, birth induction, reflux, C-section, digestive issues, recovery from falls, immune boosting. So all these problems can be addressed in this particular age group with the help of CST. Now if you talk about 3 to 7 years age group, then following are the problems which can be addressed through CST, like ear infections, speech issues, immune boosting or asthma. Now if we talk about 8 years to adolescent age group, then conditions which can be addressed through CST are sports injuries, car accident trauma, anxiety, depression, etc. Now, when you should refer a baby or young people for CST, when you should refer for CST basically. So the symptoms which I am telling you, if they are experienced by babies and young people where CST may be an appropriate referral are, first is babies who are uncomfortable, who feel uncomfortable. Second one is babies who cry a lot. Next is babies who feel difficulty in sleeping. Next is eating issues, babies who are not able to breastfeed properly. Ear infections, sinus and breathing problems, babies who are not able to breathe properly. Gastrointestinal disturbances, birth trauma, headaches, torticollis or learning difficulties. So these are the symptoms which are basically, if they are experienced by the young people or children, then we can refer for CST. So we have discussed in general about CST, its 10-step protocol, indications, contraindications and the basic principle of craniosacral therapy. And yes, of course, how CST works for infants and young children as well. So we can say that CST should not be offered only to adults. We can offer this technique, we can apply these techniques to infants as well as young children as well. Yes, the way is different of applying techniques, the way of assessing the patient and applying the treatment technique is different, but yes, CST can be applied to both adults as well as infants. Thank you so much.